There will be children dying in the village, mister. I see nothing dying. Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Parris, I think you'd best be sent Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. I think we ought to rely on Dr. Griggs now, and good prayer. Rebecca, the doctor's baffled. If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves and— How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province, and yet I have but one child left of 8, and now she shrivels. I cannot fathom that. When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here. You cannot command, Mr. Parris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage. I never heard you worried so on the society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meeting since snow flew. I have trouble enough with that I come 5 mile to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentions God any more. I am your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat, whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted. Aye, there is either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning. Can you speak 1 minute without we land in hell again? I am sick of hell. It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear. I may speak my heart, I think. What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers. My followers? There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There is a faction and a party. Against you? Against him in all authority. Why, then I must find it and join it. He does not mean that. I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority. I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there is a party. I've changed my opinion of this man, Mr. Parris. I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you. Why, thank you, Giles. It suggests to the mind what the trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everybody suing everyone else? I have been in court 6 times this year. Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did. John Proctor, I have only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off your house, and I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home. I'll be damned first. Hale enters with books of religion in hand. Pray you, someone take these. Mr. Hale. Oh, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy. They must be. They are weighted with authority. Well, you do come prepared. We shall need hard study, if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse. I am, sir. Do you know me? It's strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly. Do you know this gentleman, Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife, Anne? Putnam! I had not expected such distinguished company, sir. It does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house and save our child. Your child ails too? Her soul seems blown away. She sleeps, and yet she walks. She cannot eat. Cannot eat? Do you men also have afflicted children? No, these are farmers, John Proctor. He don't believe in witches. I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles? No, John, I think not. I have some few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow. I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem. Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly. Tries to fly? She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat. No. Now let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and we must look only for his proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no trace of hell in this. It is agreed, sir. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment. Good, then. Now, sir, what were your first warnings of this strangeness? Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece Abigail and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night. You permit dancing? No, no. It were secret. Mr. Parris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir. We cannot be sure of that, Goody Ann. I know it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters. Goody Ann, you sent a child to conjure up the dead? Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me any more. Mr. Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day? 7 dead in childbirth? Aye. Have no fear now. We shall find this devil out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face. Will it hurt the child, sir? I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free. I think I'll go then. I am too old for this. Why, Rebecca? We may open up the boil of all our troubles today. Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir. I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here. I wish I knew. Come, Mr. Hale, let's get on. Sit you here. Mr. Hale, I have always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books? What books? I cannot tell. She hides them. Martha, my wife. I have waked at night many times and found her in a corner reading a book. Now what do you make of that? Why, that's not necessarily. It discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers, and then she closed her book and walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this, I could pray again. Ah, stoppage of prayer, that is strange. I'd like to speak further on that with you. I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see. Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me, if the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please, to keep your wits about you, Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister at Beverly. I have come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly? Does someone afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird, invisible to others, comes to you, perhaps a pig, or any beast at all. Is there some figure bids you fly? In nomine Domini Sabbath, sui felice ite de infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest? Why, common dancing is all. I think I ought to say that I saw a kettle in the grass where they were dancing. That were only soup. Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail? Why, it were beans and lentils, I think, and Mr. Parris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps a spider, a frog? That frog jumped in. We never put it in. Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night? I never called him. Tituba called him. She called the devil? I should like to speak with Tituba. Goody Ann, will you bring her up? How did she call him? I know not. She spoke Barbados. Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground? I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up. Betty, Betty. You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle? She never drank it. Did you drink it? No, sir. Did Tituba ask you to drink it? She tried, but I refused. Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer? I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I I did drink of the kettle. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. Abby, she makes me drink blood. Blood? My baby's blood. No, no, chicken blood. I give she chicken blood. Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil? No, no, sir. I don't truck with the devil. Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child? I love me, Betty. You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil? She sent her spirit on me in church. She make me laugh at prayer. She have often laughed at prayer. She comes to me every night to go and drink blood. You beg me to conjure, Abby. She beg me make charm. I'll tell you something. She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruptions. Abby! I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs and tempting with me. Mr. Reverend, I never. When did you compact with the devil? I don't compact with no devil. You will confess yourself, or I will take you out and whip you to your death, Tituba. This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged. No, no, don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir. Who, the devil? Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it entirely. Now we are going to help you tear yourself free. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba? Aye, sir, a good Christian woman. And you love these little children? Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little children. And you love God, Tituba? I love God with all my being. Now in God's holy name, bless him, bless him. And to his glory, eternal glory, bless him, bless him. Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you. Oh, bless the Lord. When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps another person in the village. Someone you know? Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4? How many? There were 4. There were 4. Who? Who? Their names. Their names. Oh, how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Parris. Kill me? He say Mr. Parris must be kill. Mr. Parris no goodly man. Mr. Parris mean man and no gentleman. And he'd bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't want kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear and put you way high up in the air and you go and fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me and he say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody Good. Sarah Good? Aye, sir, and Goody Osborne. I knew it. Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne, because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands. Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see these children suffering? Look at them. Tituba, look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender we must protect them. Tituba, the devil is out and preying on them like a beast upon the flesh of the pure lamb. God will bless you for your help. I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good. With the devil. I saw Good Osborne. With the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop. With the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil. She speaks. She speaks. Glory to God, it is broken. They are free. I saw Martha Bellows with the devil. I saw Goody Cibber with the devil. The marshal, I'll call the marshal. Let the marshal bring irons.